Alright guys, we're going to do a winter update, I guess. Plans are always constantly changing, so here's the current thoughts of what's going to happen for, I think, all the cars that I currently have. And we'll kind of go from there. Geo Prism, the red one, sold that. I knew I was going to sell it. The deal's finally been finished. It's gone and sold. This is the green Cavalier underneath. It is in the process of being fixed to be sold, so we're not going to actually build that one. I kind of figured I can get way more money out of it, so that's kind of how it's going to be. The black one, let me see, what year is this one? I don't remember. 04, something like that. 03. Pretty rusty underneath it. I think it needs a subframe. Currently doesn't have a gas tank in it because the guy drilled a hole in the bottom of it and the fuel pump was bad anyway. So this one is stock car. Probably gonna try to slowly build it this year in case another car goes and is junk, basically, or I break another car. I'll kind of start to build this one. I think on making the cage in a different car, finish building that cage, and build one more cage. Like I said, that I want to build a bolt-in cage for these cars. So this one will probably be the bolt-in cage that I'm going to do. And then there's the red, white, and blue car out back that I'll end up building off of that one and adding to it. So I have two bolt-in cages just to make it easier to build a backup car while one is being raced. And then when I junk one that's being raced, it'll go into the next car. The truck I'm going to sell the headlights off of it. Some parts are going to my dad because I had wrecked his truck many years ago, so he's getting some of the parts off of it. He might even get some of the frame parts if it goes that far. With the rear end being junk, I've been looking into finding rear ends, unless somebody wants to give me a rear end or give it to me stupid cheap or trade something. I don't think I'm going to go through the hassle right now. Said I got a kid on the way, and I don't even know how much I'm going to be racing this year. So more than likely, I'm going to keep everything that I need to keep to get this truck to run and stay running to put into a future square body. That's my plan. My wife and I have always loved square bodies. I've owned a few. I plan to own one again and drop the motor and transmission. Probably not rear end. We'll get a different things figured out for that. Either fuel pump or the tank. However, we're going to make stuff work. Computer, engine, harness, all that stuff. Whatever I need will go into that build. And that's way in the future, but I figured I bought a truck stupid cheap. Might as well try to keep the parts that I needed to. That's the only reason why I bought it. So, and if worse comes to worse and I just can't, and this thing sits too long or whatever, then I guess I'll sell it as is. But I want to keep the motor trans, because for what I paid for the whole truck, I could probably scrap the truck, keep everything I need, and then scrap the truck for a couple $100 or whatever, and then still sell motor, trans, all the stuff you need for somebody else to build their square body build or whatever for $500-600 or something. So easily can make money on that one, but for now it is what it is. I will go to the other cars. Give me a second. So this is one of my two Cobalts. As far as I know, the motor's bad in this. I don't know for sure. That's what I was told. The dumb kid that I bought it from took everything out of it. All the relays, all the stuff, so I'd have to swap things over to even try to see if this motor's good. I'm betting it's not. Everything else is there. They torched the front frame off, which really sucks, so if I want to put this in a stock class, I'll have to cut the other frame off the other car or build this one or something. But what I think is going to happen is I'm going to race this year. I'm going to race the Fireman Cobalt, race that one until it keeps having issues, it ticks me off, whatever, and then sell that one with this one, so somebody can put the two parts together, make a good one out of it, and I'm just done with that car. I don't run Cobalts very often, and that's fine. I just I am downsizing, and the current plan is, within reason, these are the last cars I'm going to have until I get down to 1 mod, 1 stock, and 1 extra car. The mod will continue to be a mod until I decide I'm done with mod, and I'll probably sell that car off. And I'm going to continue to run stock class until I find a car worthy enough to be a mod, and then maybe I'll build 1 more mod. But anyways, I'm downsizing. I figured I was going to do that anyways, but with having another kid, I got to change a few things. I knew it was going to happen. This one, I got to look into it more. I think the front sub's bad. The rear's not any better. Again, it's going to be a stock car. I don't think it's worth putting it into a mod. Motor doesn't run great, but I think the gas is super old. So again, this is going to be probably a 2026 build on this car, I'm guessing. Again, it'll probably change. Probably gets old, who knows, but 2026 car is probable for this one. And then again, stock car. With how rusty it is, it's just going to be a stock car. You gotta kind of hurry. There's a family member coming over. I'm gonna fix his exhaust in his Jeep, so try to make this video sooner than later, I guess. Alright, this red, white, and blue car, it's going to get fixed. I might leave the bumper for now and then replace it with something different or whatever. K-frame needs to come out and put a new one in. I believe rack is bad, put a new one in. Everything else is fine. We'll just make a few tweaks, add to the cage or do parts of the cage on this one. Paint it all white, and then this car is going to be my backup car for this season. Oh, sorry. And more than likely there's going to be a lot of pink on this car. Plan is this year Midland County or a Bay County race, or a couple of them. My sister's going to drive this one. I reached out to her. She came to our races last year for the Midland races, and she was like, yeah, I want to do that again. So perfect car. We'll give this one to her, see what she can do again. Hopefully she don't smash the front end out of it and cause me more problems, but it is what it is. This one has turned into a parts car, a Sandy car. This car will live on with my buddy Mike Schnettler. He's the guy that does all the stickers and stuff for me. He helped me with building the mod car back in the day. Has helped me throughout the years. I think he plans to build a mod out of it, and he's got, I'm not going to give anything away, he's got some crazy ideas for it, which I'm excited to maybe help him on and give him some ideas with. But this one's pretty much sold. Selling it to him for a few $100s, and then he's keeping the shell, I'm keeping everything else. So he's going to pull suspension, motor, trans, maybe even rear end, I can't remember what he wants out of it, but basically he's getting the shell for a couple $100. He'll pull all the parts for me, and I'll get the parts from him at some point, and then I'll have a bunch of spares for the rest of the cars. This one, I knew I wasn't going to get to it, and I don't know, he came by looking for a 2-door, and he's like, this'll work. I'm like, well, you know what, let's just do it, get rid of it. So that's how it goes. This car is the Cobalt, the Fireman one. I might fix the bumper a little bit and add a little bit more to it. We're going to change the interior a little bit with the e-brake setup. I don't like it, so I need to fix that. And pretty much look at the rules for this year and see what they're going to change. There are a couple things on this car, I'm not going to give it away, that technically would make it illegal, from what I'm hearing for the next year's rules. I raced it this past year in 2024 knowing the couple of things were illegal on it, to see what they're going to say. And I'm not changing anything on it again, because this car is built forever ago, and well, it's the exhaust. I'll just say it. The exhaust is not the stock exhaust. I got the car and the muffler was completely chopped off, and I had a different exhaust system that I put on it. And for these stock class rules, you can't run a header, whether it's up or down. And I I'm not changing that. So if they're gonna be that way, then I'll remember to bring my modified style tires, and I'll throw this in my class. I don't care. This car, just for whatever reason, I just don't care about it. It's done me well. I haven't had any, issues with it per se. I mean, it's fast. So if they give me an ass-egg because it has an exhaust header on it, because the regular one was cut off, and it's something that I had laying around, then oh well. Modified car, we'll have to figure out what we're doing this year with it. I gotta pull this side out or cut it off and redo it so I can get that rear tire off, so I can fix the rear brakes, because the rear brakes in these have not worked for over a year or two, and I didn't even know it. That's why I couldn't go around the corners as fast. This car has never been 100%, I think, since I've owned it, since I've been racing it. I just cannot get it to be happy. Another reason why I'm getting closer to saying screw it and building another one. Other thing with this, I'm not going to lift it up because of the snow, but the floor is starting to collapse on it and rust out. I mean, it sucks. So I got to figure stuff out with it. This year, I'm probably going to focus more on stocks because I have them. And from what I'm hearing, this is kind of a, I guess, an announcement, if you want to say. From what I'm hearing this year, with all the talk, they're saying that there's going to be less modified races this year. So I don't know what that all means, how many. I know every time I've been to a mod race where I was racing in the class, you had maybe 16 cars. That's it. Not many people are willing to build them. So I have a video that I'm going to put out, not today, or not, I might make it some other day, but I had made a video about a year or so ago. I never posted it because I didn't want to cause any drama. I'll give you a quick gist of it. What I want the sport to do and the promoters to do, and this is my opinion, is have a class between this car, which is stock, and that car, which is mod. They have the big tire cars, and our promoter was a big tire guy back in the day. A rear-wheel drive car, sorry. And he wants to keep that alive, which I do too. Don't get me wrong, I do. But the future of the sport, those guys are selling their cars off because they're tired of it and giving it or selling them to other guys that want to race them. But that's far and few between. I mean, there's probably, I don't know this, I'm going to guess maybe 30 rear-wheel drive cars or so in our state that will race any of these races, give or take 30 to 40. And I don't want to say it, but I think it's dying, which sucks. I don't like that either. But anyways, I'm rambling. So my next video I'm planning on doing is I want to make another class. I would like to call it a pro stock class. Stock class, mod class, pro stock. So this car in particular, the front frame's bending. It's getting bad. It has a stupid header on it. So, I mean, headers don't do anything in my opinion, but whatever. Change the bumper out. Plate the front end like you need to. Basically, my opinion is firewall forward. Do whatever you need to keep it going. This car has been used. It's been abused. It's been up. It's nearing its end of life at stock class to where you have to build it into a mod or the car is going to be junk. That's why I want to do a pro stock class. You can fix the rear end however you need to so it attaches to the car because they rip out all the time. You can plate the driver's door however you need to. Reskin is what my saying was. Redoor or reskin these doors. Nothing like it literally needs to be. I think this is like sheet metal. Literally go washer and dryers. Put new sheet metal on it. I don't care how you do it. That's kind of where I want the sport to go with this pro stock class. Firewall forward, fix everything you need however you need to. Front subframes, plate them up. At this point, tires, because it's the next style of next part of, you know, this. You should be able to do whatever tires you want and need, tube them, flap them, any type of tires you need. I don't care. And then any bumper, modified bumpers without points, just like we do with the mod class. You know, nothing protruding, nothing that's going to hurt anybody, because in theory, the doors and everything are still stock. So, I mean, there's, like I said, there's lots of talk with these rules. But anyways, I'm not going to go any further than that. Basically, that's what the next video is going to be. I'm going to talk about what I want with these cars and so on and so forth. So, looking for any ideas on that. When I make that video, feel free to comment, and we can kind of get some minds going about what we want to do or how it should be done. I don't think it's going to happen. I talked to Johnny. Sorry, that's our promoter. I talked to him about it, and I said I wouldn't post that video, which I never did, until he kind of heard about it and put the agreements on it. He didn't want to build another class, so I understand that. There's too many classes, not enough time in a show. Again, I understand that. So I'd like to see what we can do. The fact that stock class is going crazy, I absolutely love it. I want to basically have a car like this. It's got not much life left on it, but it could. So, anyways, I'm rambling. I will talk about that in the next video. So, look forward to that one, guys.